If you can just talk about Obed getting the All-Star nod.
Well, look, obviously I'm biased, but there's a couple players that deserve consideration. Certainly Christian has made a lot of noise this last, month and a half, certainly with the Club World Cup performances that he had, but Obed has been consistent all year long, and he's a tremendous talent. Albert's put up good numbers again 2 years in a row. So do I think there could be more Sounders on the team? Maybe, but happy for Obed and well-deserved.
What does Obed do because his numbers don't necessarily jump off the page, but clearly people appreciate his game. What is it that he does so well?
Well, for the tacticians, he's versatile in different spots. He can play a little deeper. His actual runs from a deeper position are very effective. He can also play in the pockets. He's got good enough technical ability. You see him wiggle out of things, and what I mean by wiggle, he receives the ball and he turns all in one motion. Some guys have to stop the ball and then think about turning, but Obed does it naturally, just all in one touch. I mean, there's a lot of simple things to his game that people appreciate, and it helps the team go forward. Then, because we can't forget about the defending side of things, he and Christian cover a lot of ground. Obed might be a little tad higher than Christian total distance. So defensively, he does a good job. I mean, that's a big reason for our success.
So I guess related or somewhat related to that is you're now entering a period, or you're entering another period where you're going to have a bunch of games all piled up on one another. Obed and Christian have
played heavy minutes.
Played heavy minutes. How do you? What's the? You just lost JP.
Yeah.
How do you go about managing that?
Well, Danny will get some shots in there. Maybe Snyder. We've kicked around Alex moving up a line. Maybe. I mean, there's different ways we can solve that. But we're focused on Colorado right now, and then we'll deal with San Jose when that comes around.
What have you made of Danny's play when he's been in the
good
midfield?
I mean, good. I played him a little higher. He's been subbing in for Albert, which I think is good because he's a good connector. I like his ability to keep possession for us. He can still play a line deeper. I don't think he's a true defensive six, but he's more of a ball playing number 6'8", can do both jobs, but he's a smart kid.
You mentioned the focus on Colorado. What does stand out about the Rapids?
Josh, homecoming. The game where the wall jumped and Mihalovic kicked it under the wall. Moose's good goal. There are a lot of things that stand out. They're a good team. Chris, started off, it was a little rough maybe for him, but he's figured things out. He's done a good job. Chris Little is there. He's been a big help. What else? I mean, they're a good team.
Looking back at the Kansas City game, what stood out, or did anything stand out about Andrew Thomas's performance and goal?
Steady. What were the expectations for his first, game in a long time? He hit all those expectations. Didn't make any critical errors. The one ball, there's a corner kick. Jackson cleared it out. The second action, he came out, held it clean about 8-10 yards. There was a pile of people in front of him. He was able to accomplish that. That's a technical part of it. Some of his decision-making on the ball were good. I mean, look, he kicked a few longer passes from goal kicks. That's his decision. I let Steph and Andrew, they feel the momentum swings in games. Sometimes we play more direct. Other times he puts it down and we play. So those are the things he'll continue to get better at when he gets a few more games.
Any update on Steph? Any update on Steph?
He's in the building, but he's still ways out.
When you look back at the second half, how much of the struggles you guys had do you think had to do with like the climate, the miles on the players, and some of the adjustments that Sporting Kansas City made switching to a 4-4-2?
Their two guys came on and made a good impact. You credit them first. Was it a little humid? Yes. Did we take our foot off the gas a little bit? Yes. Even having said that, there were chances in that game to put us at 4. One before they scored and then one after. I mean, we could have made it 4 and made it easier.
Brian, going back to Alex, Rodan.
I'm going to get to you.
Oh.
After him, though, because you start. Was that your question?
Yeah, no, what did you
Going
make
back
that-
to Alex, what do you mean?
Because we had the discussion post game, you take a look at it. So going back with Alex Rodan, when you tucked him in, was it because of the team you were playing, or was it because of something?
Just the way the game
skill set
unfolded.
that he now has.
No, he's always had that. We've always rotated guys in. You know, the right side of guys always highest and widest, unless there's a winger out there. Because remember, we played Georgie out there in preseason, Pedro out there, makes things look a little different. It's just the flow of the game. And Jesus and Alex are smart players. They just figured it out.
Does that take away from his long passes and you're not looking for him to make
What do you
the long
mean?
passes in there?
Alex?
Yeah.
He can make long passes anywhere on the field. There's no restriction for, better position. He can come in as a pivot and still hit a long ball to Paul on the left side. He can still do that.
I wanted to ask about Nuhu. With the red cards that he's had this season, it just seems like such a sharp turn from his personality in the past. Is there anything that you can share with us is there anything going on with him off the field that
Not that
kind
I'm
may
aware of.
explain anything?
Not that I'm aware of, and not that I would probably say in front of a camera if I did know something, but there's nothing there. He hasn't had a great year, so to speak. We've talked about certain things. There was, some mistakes that all guys make, that own goal and RSL early in the year. I think his performance against Vancouver wasn't up to his standard. We talked about that. We had a good conversation about that. He's actually the fourth longest tenured player in the club. Steph, Jordan, Christian, and Nuhu. And we've talked about leadership. We've talked about him keeping who he is, because we love his smiling face and some of his goofiness and his clearances and his ability to run by people in a dramatic fashion. But I also need him to mature a little bit. And this latest incident was he didn't show signs of maturity there.
Yeah, and that's kind of the question too. Is just that he's shown professionalism in the past, and that's why I think.
Yeah.
Is it?
Nothing that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
I think he made a mistake, and he's going to pay the price, and we'll see what that is, and we'll go from there.
Can you say that it's maturity, or is it just that this is kind of what comes with Nuhu? He's got really good qualities, but there are also going to be moments that you're going to have some
Everybody
impulsiveness.
changes. Everybody matures. You're probably a better reporter than you were a few years ago.
100%.
So everybody has to, at some point in their lives, grow up.
And when it comes to the exact same thing, does patience wear thin? How do you handle that? With
I'm a
him?
very patient man, but I do have a limit.
And I
That
guess
was me.
along those same tone, I would imagine that part of the problem is that you need to be able to you need to trust players to not make mistakes like that. Is it a path back to winning back the trust?
As far as I'm concerned, this is the first time that Nuhu has thrown a ball into the stands
Sure.
in a lot of games. So, you can forgive a guy for certain things. Patterns emerge, then you start thinking about it. If it's something really egregious, then you have to come down hard. So where is he in that process? I'll let you guys know.
And there was nothing racist said or anything like that?
I asked that question of both he and Jonathan, because Jonathan was there, and no, there was none, because that was one of the most important things I wanted to cross off.
Coach, this is a retro match. For the ones that didn't have the pleasure of watching you play, who from the current Sounders plays closer to what you used to play?
I don't know why you would bring me up.
It's retro.
It's retro, I get it. But there were a lot of other guys that had a bigger importance in that 94, 95, 96, that time period. Because I only played 1 year with the A-League, and then I went to the CISL. So Bernie, Neil, Chance Fry, Billy Crook, Wade, Market. I mean, there were a lot of tremendously talented players in those 94, 95, 96 years. It was a good team, very good team.
Do we need to make sure the Seattle Sea Dogs get their
No. No. But if it comes up, I might have to be